Here are your warrant questions for April 14th. So we're going to distribute, which means I have 2x minus 4, but there are three groups of them. So another 2x minus 4 and another 2x minus 4. So in all, I end up having 6x's. And if I combine those together, I get minus 12. Or the fast way, 3 times 2x is 6x, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. The second one, I might want to circle my terms first. So if I rewrite this problem and then circle my terms, remember terms are separated by plus or minus signs that are not in parentheses. I'm going to simplify this part. So I'm taking 1 times 3x. That means I have one group of 3x's. I'm taking 1 times negative 1, or one group of negative 1. The catch, though, is I'm subtracting everything that happens here. So when I get 3x for this first part, I need to remember I'm subtracting that. And when I get negative 1 for the second part, I have to remember I'm also subtracting that. And if you subtract a negative 1, you're really adding 1. And then you go ahead and put the 5 out in front. And there's still a little more that we can do. We can combine like terms. So 5, positive 5, and a positive 1 gives me 6, and then minus the 3x. So that's one way you could write your simplified expression. And this last one introduces distributive property when we have two terms in each parenthesis. So there are a couple ways to solve it, but one way we're going to look at is called a generic rectangle. And what this is going to help us with is to organize our work. So I'm going to put x plus 3 across one of the dimensions, and I'm going to do 4x plus 1 across the other dimension. And then we're just going to go ahead and multiply this out. So 4x times x would be, that means this, 4x times x means you have 4x squared. And then 3 times 4x, because those are the dimensions of the rectangle, would be 12x. X times 1 is 1x, and 3 times 1 is 3. And now I can just combine like terms. So I get 4x squareds, 13x's, and then plus the 3. So this 4x squared plus 13x plus 3 is the answer I'm looking for. The other way to do it is to take each of these independent and say, what if I had x times 4x? Well, that's 4x squared. What if I took this x times that 1? Well, that's an x. And then I move to this term and I go 3 times 4x, that's 12x's. And if I take 3 times 1, I get 3. And notice the 4x squared was here, the 12x and the 1x showed up here, and the 3 there. So I got the same exact answer, but ultimately 4x squared plus 13x plus 3 is the best way to write its value. Problem 2. Problem 2 asks you to write the exponential decay equation. So to do that, I know exponential equations are in the form of y equals a times b to the x power. And a is the y-intercept that was given to you, of course, when x is 0. So right now I have y equals 140 times b to the x power, and b is my multiplier. So I'm trying to figure out, as I move across, what do I multiply by to get each of the next values? And to do that, since I'm looking what to multiply by, I'm going to divide to find that. So I take two consecutive values and I'm going to divide them. So I'm going to take 84 divided by 140, and it gives me 0.6. Well, let's try another pair of values. Let's try 84 and 50.4. So I go 50.4, where I'm going, divided by where I came from, divided by 84, and I also get 0.6. In fact, I'll get 0.6 all the way across. So that becomes my multiplier. And just like that, I have my exponential decay equation. And the third problem A right triangle has a short leg of 4 units and a hypotenuse of 15. So I'm going to just draw my generic right triangle so I can see what my short leg is going to look like. The hypotenuse, of course, is the longest side. And to find the other leg, well, because it's a right triangle, I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. And that, of course, is leg squared plus leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. And now I throw my values in. So the hypotenuse is 15. One of the legs is 4. And this then is the missing value. So the next thing is to actually square this and get 16 plus some value squared, and 15 squared is 225. So then to find x squared, I'm going to isolate the variable by subtracting 16 from both sides. 225 minus 16 gives me 209 equals x squared. So that means to find x, remember x squared is the area of this square. To find the side length, you have to undo the square, which is the square root of both sides of the equation. So I end up with x equals, and you could say the answer is just the square root of 209. If you want to find a more precise value, you just take the square root of 209, and it looks like we get about 14.45 or so. So I would probably go the square root of 209 as my missing side length. Thank you.